SAP Business One is a comprehensive integrated solution that'll streamline your entire business with a single system. What do I mean by that? We're looking at the main menu of SAP Business One, and you can see from the one application we are delivering the majority of the functionality that most small and mid-sized enterprises need to run their businesses effectively. Financials modules, sales opportunities management, the ability to manage the complete sales and purchasing cycle, the ability to manage all of your business partners and all the transactions and interactions that you have with those business partners, banking, your stock management, production, materials requirements planning or MRP, service, and HR functionalities are all covered in the single application. Now, when we say the system is integrated, what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. If I go here and I open up a business partner screen, I open up my business partner master data, and I'm going to navigate through just using my video button. So again, a consistent user interface the entire way through the system, which really makes it easy for your people to utilize SAP Business One effectively and reduces your total cost of ownership by lowering the cost of training. But again, using those video buttons, moving through the records. So here's one of my customers, Earthshaker. So the system is integrated in that just about from any screen in the system you can get anywhere else. What do I mean? So here's my customer. You can see I have my account balance. You can see that Earthshaker currently owe me $40,500.39. So with one click on the yellow arrow, that allows me to drill down and get the details of that account balance. So with one click, you can see there are all of the transactions which make up that account balance. Here's an accounts receivable invoice. If I want to drill down and look at that invoice, one click drills me down, and there it is. There's that invoice itself. Now, what I can also then do is I can start recording additional information about that invoice. So let's say, for example, I want to record a specific activity. Let's say I had a discussion with Bob McKensley at Earthshaker about this specific invoice. All I do is right click on the screen, choose new activity, and then very simply I can choose what activity type it was. So this was a phone call. I can specify a subject. Again, I'm going to define a new subject here, and I'm going to say the subject of this was a follow-up. So by choosing follow-up and putting that in there, I'll say okay, so this is a follow-up call. I can now put the details of the call, and I can say followed up with Bob to check customer satisfaction. And then all I do is I click on add, and that is now done, and I now have an activity allocated to that accounts receivable invoice. Right click on there, and now when I say show me all the related activities, you can see there is that activity that's related to that invoice. Now let's go right back and look at our business partner master data now. And if I choose related activities here, you'll see I get a view of all of the activities that I've done with that business partner, including the phone call that I just made with Bob about that particular invoice. So when we're talking about a comprehensive and an integrated solution, that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. So we've just had a look at the user interface and the way that the integrated design of SAP Business One really makes it a perfect solution for those organizations who are looking for an integrated suite of applications to run their entire business. What I'd like to do now is drill down a little bit and look at some of the architectural changes that we've made in the solution, particularly in the area of helping those organizations who are running multiple companies in multiple countries around the world, or those organizations who may have trading partners and they're looking to standardize on a single application for all of those trading partners or subsidiaries of large organizations. So let's take a look at that right now. So let's look at another example of what I mean when I talk about SAP Business One being a single integrated system. Let's close down our business partner screen here. With SAP Business One 8.8, one of the things that we've done is we have incorporated all of our country versions into a single code base. What do I mean by that? With SAP Business One, you have one of the only applications available on the market today which delivers the localized functionality required for multiple countries within a single application. So you can install SAP Business One on a server, and then from that single server you can set up multiple companies and have each of those companies being localized for a different country. When I go into my administration and I go into my system initialization, you can see that I have access to all of my settings around the company data. So if I go into my general settings, for example, you can see here in my display what language I want. So SAP Business One gives you full multi-language, but then I also can specify for this company what set of legal requirements are delivered for this company. So when I go and I create a new company, for example, you can see I've got two companies here right now. I've got my SMB Solutions company, which is set up for Australia and New Zealand, and then I have my OEC Computers company, which is set up for the United States of America. So when I go to create a new company, what it asks me is what specific local settings do I want. So you can see a list of all of the countries that are available for me here. So let's say, for example, I was setting up another one of my companies that was running in India. So I choose India. I tell it that I want the base language to be English, and then I put in a couple of the other details and I click OK, and it goes ahead and it creates that company. So with 8.8 from one system, you had the ability to not only have access to all this functionality, but also you have access to all of those different country localizations.